Hello, everyone. Our guest for today's interview is Sarika Pradhan. Sarika is currently a VP HR and leads HR for 20,000 plus associates at the Asia Pacific Delivery Centers, Global Delivery Centers for CGI, one of the largest IT and business consulting services in the world. Uh, and apart from looking after HR operations, she also leads talent management and other initiatives, for all of these employees across multiple countries. Prior to joining CGI, Sarika has more than 2 decades of experience in reputed companies like PwC and Murugappa Group, and most notably at Wipro, where she spent 18 years prior to joining CGI. Sarika, welcome to this conversation. Thank you for being here and looking forward to your views and perspectives.
Thank you, Anjul. Thank you for the invite.
So, Sarika, you joined CGI at a very interesting moment for the industry. Pandemic had disrupted a lot of existing ways of working. Work from home was forcing employers to relook at the entire gamut of talent management and other practices. So, how has been your journey navigating these challenges in the last year and a half, and how has digital helped you achieve some of these priorities that you were looking at?
Good question, Anjul. And you said it right that I joined just post the pandemic in CGI, and all my 8 interviews which I did to get this position was all virtual.
Right.
But I was onboarded, and from my side, I told my president and the leadership team that I want to come to the office to just feel the culture and the air of CGI, taking that leap of faith after 18 years from Wipro to join CGI. And it has been a great journey so far. So, what are the things which we focused on? And just to be more specific on return to office and hybrid work model, where every organization, be it the big IT players, the medium or the small ones, all of us were fumbling and tumbling because it was a new world post-pandemic. All of us didn't know what is the right answer or the wrong answer, but every one of us were trying to do something which is beneficial to the entire ecosystem, all the stakeholders, be it the clients, be it the shareholders, or be it the employees. So what did we do? So we did a lot of benchmarking with lots of large organizations. And 4-5 things, Sanjul, what I will put in front of you is, one is continuous communication from the top. And that really helped us because we maintained a very solid, consistent, and transparent line of communication. We call our employees members to the members at large. And we also had specific communication to the managers and the leaders because they are at the front line and they need to walk the talk. Second one, we developed a tracking mechanism because you told me from a digital perspective, what did you do? And this tracking mechanism was like a leadership dashboard where every week we used to send, based on our guidelines and processes, just to maintain that RAG status. Which are the leaders who are red, not able to bring their employees back, amber and green. And that really helped to build that competitive spirit in a fair manner. And we had 1 day for the members at large and 2 days for managers and above. So there were 2 leadership dashboards where we came to know which managers are coming or not coming and which members are coming or not coming. And then we exactly got into the deep dive of creating FAQs, of creating Excel sheets. And then I just felt that my entire HRBP team is getting sucked into this analytics permutation combination, what the leadership is asking. So last quarter, what we did, we worked with our internal IT team and we developed a RTE tool, which is called as the return to work exception tool. Rather than having seams of Excel sheets across the HRBPs, we created this tool where we are empowering the employees and we are empowering the managers. There are about, say, 10 to 11% of exceptions at any given point in time, and genuine exceptions. They can go and put it in the tool that I'm applying for 5 days work from home. a little bit of digitization really helped us to increase the efficiency of our HR function. And anytime on the pulse, any data is asked by the leadership, we are able to get it with the one push button. So these are the few things we did from a specific RTO and hybrid work model, but immense learning and unlearning through the journey. And just to tell you, are we really at a highest level of alignment? My answer is no. We are still learning, but hybrid is going to stay. And if it is going to stay, we will need a couple of years. All the IT services, because manufacturing and all, everyone has started coming, just to get this hybrid fundamentals right into their system. So that's a little bit on the RTO and hybrid working model. But I can share a few more on the automation and digitization bit, what we have done. One is the recruitment, where we introduced a third-party vendor just for giving a seamless candidate experience. And what do I mean by that? We had about 10 to 12 days where we take, while people are, and when I joined as well, people are just submitting seams of documents. And I just felt it is such a manual process. Once we brought in this tool and we integrate it into our recruitment platform, now the way we have saved the cost, the way we have saved our time, and the seamless experience we have been able to give the candidates. Now we have a 70% joining ratio. And everything is maintained in the tool, not those only those printouts, those documents, the hard copies. And this has really helped us to ensure that everything again gets into a repository. And as much automation and digitalization you do, that becomes easier for the entire recruitment team also to work for. And now what has happened is they take just 10 minutes for the offer release. It has condensed the time drastically and dramatically, actually. Yeah. And the third bit from a L&D perspective I would like to share with you is, again, the same thing. There was dedicated a 2-member team only doing learning reports and sharing it with the 7 verticals we have. We took the help from our IT team. We call it as an insights report. And the way we used Power BI dashboards to send our trackers, to send our data analytics. And it was just for the leadership team, a different shift from what they have been seeing for last 25 years to what they are seeing right now. And even if these process improvements are not that mega process improvements, but a slight change of the way you project, the way you share, and the speed and agility you work with, I think that makes the entire difference, actually. So these are the 3 things, Anjul, over to you, which I thought I should share as a best practice.
No, I'm good to hear. These are, like you said, not mega changes. You are not talking about a technological breakthrough, but at least in my learning over the last 10 years has been that it's the small things matter. For the user, is his life becoming easier or her life becoming easier? Is he or she able to see things in a different way because of a different interface or a different way of working? And if you are able to show that this makes your life easier, you don't need to then really push very hard for adoption. People then are more proactive and they are more amenable to some of these changes that you are able to bring in. So that way, some great learning, I am sure, for HR teams as well. One of the challenges, Sarika, when you are designing new initiatives or redesigning existing programs is how do you balance between what is required now or what has been done in the past, what is required now versus what you anticipate will be the emerging requirements? So how do you ensure that your HR teams have a good understanding of what are some of these potential requirements or trends, and how do you factor that into the way you design your programs and initiatives?
Yeah, another great question, Anjul. So Anjul, I'll tell you. So at my role and my level, I always think three things. How will it benefit my own team to make them more efficient, to make them more relevant, and to make them resilient in this ever competitive world, and the world which is changing every second? Yesterday was cloud, today it is AI. Somewhere else you go, people talk about generative AI. How does human resources as a function also align to the ever-changing landscape and the emerging technologies which are sprouting every day across the globe? So be it small, be it medium, or be it mega transformation, and it's not here and now. How do you do certain changes and ensure that for the next 10 years or 15 years, you are ready to handle whatever challenges come your way? So 4 things I keep in mind with the members at the nucleus. How do we get the stakeholder management to ensure that we give the right customer centricity? Second one is, how do I keep my team's efficiency and productivity at the peak, and they jump from the bed because they enjoy the work they are doing and not become complacent with the day in, day out mundane job they are doing? Third one, and a strong believer of agility and speed. All of us have great ideas, great suggestion, but the proof of the pudding, Anjul, and you will agree with me, is speed of execution. And it need not be you have to be 120% perfect in your conceptualization before you execute, even if you are 75% ready. And I think that's the passion for results which come in. Just go ahead, because on the pathway, you will tumble and fumble, but you will get your solutions right. And the culture of entire unlearning and shaking your mindset to ensure that you have a growth mindset which aligns with the business growth. I think that's what I have been trying to inculcate and bring the change in my current team of 200 people I handle. And these changes are big changes. That's called as transformation. But a strong positive believer that if you have the right intent, the impact will be positive. And if I look back to my 16 months of my stint in CGI, I think we started very slowly. Now it has become a part of the KPIs of each and every individual, irrespective of the strata they belong to. There is a cohort of people who jump into this idea because they are very passionate about digitalization. There is a cohort of people who are very good in data crunching, analytics, research, and all. There are a good of people who just needs your yes to go jump and do the execution. So how do you bring in those strengths from each of these people to drive this entire thing? So one example I want to give over here. Last year, CGI went through a platform where they had a very, very basic platform for performance management system. So we took the help from our vendor partner to do a Progressio, which is called as a performance management system. But while doing that, we realized that we do not have the full-fledged calibration out there, which we can do. So again, we went back to the drawing board and we just said, what do we need for really understanding these are our good, talented people we need to retain, or these are the people, the bad apples, which we need to move out. So along with our team, so we have an innovation and automation team. And every year they will ask us, what are the projects you want us to do from a HR side? We gave them this BRD of performance calibration tool. So 96 hours was what a manager was taking, handling 10 Excel sheets to do the calibration. Because at a VP and a director level, the span of control is huge. And this tool has now provided us, including the HR VPs who were spending the midnight, waking up in the midnight and spending their entire night over here. Now it is done in just 2 to 3 hours along with the business leader. So we have the entire holistic approach. It's not the rating for this year, But last 5 years, what has been the rating? Is he ready for eligibility for a promotion to the next cycle? So the entire Kundli is there in the calibration tool for us to take the right decision, the holistic decision that we are doing it right or wrong. And we piloted it at the APAC level, and it has become such a success that now the global team wants to take and replicate it across the globe, actually. That's a real success story, which I presented it in my CHRO cabinet, saying that everything need not come from global. Can we also do it local, because the talent pool is out here, and then you replicate it across the global, aligning to the GDPR guidelines.
Right. Right. No, and Sarika, that's a very good example also, because when I speak to HR professionals and across different kinds of organizations, one of the challenges with their adoption of digital or is that they still start from a mindset of I cannot make a mistake or I should not make a mistake. The moment your mindset is that, your ability to experiment with ideas, like you said, pilot and see what is working, what is not working, you don't get into the right mode of experimenting with ideas, and then obviously your progress is significantly slower than what others are able to achieve. But the other way to look at it is that enabling the right mindset is a leadership issue, right? You have to be able to demonstrate that okay, if something doesn't work out, I'm here to take care of it, don't worry about it. So that's also a broader cultural context that needs to be set for people to be more comfortable with experimenting and bringing up new ideas and all that. So that is also a HR leadership problem in that sense. But something else that I picked up, and which you brought out at the end, is that when you work in a large organization like yours, one of the challenges also is how do you balance between global priorities and mandates, as well as what you can call as local priorities. And different countries will have different issues. APAC as a region will have different issues that you want to prioritize. So as part of the business leadership team, and as the HR leader, how are you able to balance between what gets mandated from global, and which is your role to kind of execute, versus also making sure that enough of local business priorities and HR people priorities get addressed in your initiatives?
Yeah. So just to tell you, this is a catch-22 question you have asked me, Anju, and I have a big smile on my face. But all the regular processes, like say senior level promotions, the succession plan, which we call it as the global talent review, the performance management system, in terms of the timelines, in terms of the process changes, we align completely with the global team.
Right.
But the way we run out here amongst the 8 SBUs is we are given a lot of empowerment as the CHROs to drive the local priorities, like you rightly said, because the laws are different, the culture is different, the talent pool is different,
right,
and we are a delivery center of expertise. So the way we work versus the prime views, which are focused in sales and bringing in the top line, so that's the empowerment is given to them. But how do you really make it very seamless rather than always having a global versus local is, if you keep the information in both ways very open and candid, I think that helps. Not that you are doing something over here and you keep it in the dark and you just throw it after it has been out. Second is, as we move up in the ladder, stakeholder management is very, very key. How well you collaborate with the larger ecosystem and also in the local system, along with your business leadership, to get that economies of scale. That's very important. And that I will say, I take it on me because it starts from the top, right? The third one is giving that larger picture to the team during your town halls and group meetings, and sharing with them that this is what the global mandate is, and we align and we adhere to the processes and all. But what is it that you can do in each of your vertical? from a creativity and innovation perspective. Otherwise, we all will just keep on doing the mundane work. And Anjul, I cannot continue to only do that. There has to be something extra. How do we stretch that extra mile and bring in that creativity in our sphere of influence? And I think it's a very, very good amalgamation over here where we are given the space to work on. And if you come with a proposal, come with a 100% mindset that why you are so convinced. And if they see that you are convinced, they give you a green signal. Try it out and we will invest in it.
Right.
Then we will take it up to the global team and we will see if we can do it. So we have been doing small things over here, but can we do more, Anjul? My answer is yes.
No, but I think a great answer also because, one of the challenges for HR teams I see is that, even if there are great ideas, you need to be able to get the sponsorship from your business leaders to be able to, really drive something meaningfully within the organization. And some of these ideas or, points that you mentioned are, great advice in some sense on how to ensure that you are moving in sync with your business leaders and anticipating how they will think about it and make sure that you're presenting your ideas in a way which will secure the approval from business leaders. In that sense, not only from global leaders, but even in a smaller business, how do you make sure that you are winning the approval or the sponsorship from your business leader? These ideas can be great ideas even for that, But Sarika, thank you. This was a really good conversation. I think some very good insights and tips for HR professionals in any organization, and looking forward to publishing this and making this available for them. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anjul. Thank you.